Welcome back. New game, new rules. Okay. Version 2.0, the reboot. Okay, new format. Next three videos. First video, we're going to make the def normal for under 20 bucks using simple electronics. And that'll be part one. And then I'll explain this little toy here, this lighting up. And then in video two, will be how to build a pyramid block, and don't get excited, it's been done, folks. Coral Park in Florida. He already built them, and his recipe was a little hot, so he was able to melt them and change the shape, so make some patio furniture. And I'll keep it scientific and keep it beautiful, do both ends. Then the third video will be how to feed starving Nubian children staring at the moon, the stars, the sky, praying to die at a young age of starvation, distended stomachs. I'll do all the problems with it and then reflowchart the solutions. And then after every three videos, I'll be a tribute to the native videos. So that's pretty simple. Native is God, the planets, plants and animals, and then humans, which act like locusts right now. So it'll be that flow chart. And already thanking the natives. If I can, I got a 377K file I'm going to jam in to this test vid, which is a mic check testing 1 2. It's showing on my end. Hopefully it's working. And then I'll do some more previews, but the bonus videos, every third video, will be animals, most likely, and the planet Mother Earth. So it'll be good stuff for the natives. And if I can jam this 377K file in here, natives, you got something to read in the meantime. So coming soon, the reboot. And I think I got about 12 videos already in mind, so haven't done them yet. I'll start in on the making a def normal utilizing tracking. And all you need is about 20 bucks worth of electronics and a cell phone. And it doesn't even have to have service, but you do have to download something that utilizes speech to text and text to speech, which is like Google Translate or any of these translator programs. And you can download it and be offline, have 20 bucks worth of electronics, and have responses within 3 heartbeats, like your hearing was working. So that'll be the first one. Coming soon. New game, new rules, the reboot. See ya.